During today, I'll be presenting, obviously. Michael Stoddart, as you know, will be presenting with Stod. I think that might have been him. There he is down the back. And also Cole Soleil. We've got our Twitter addresses up here. If you want to follow us on Twitter, we'll be following Twitter during the breaks when we're not presenting as well. So I'll just leave that up for a second. So during this session now, I'm going to be talking about the web and interactive. So I think Julian asked before how many of you were designers for the web. I just want to ask how many of you are involved in web at all, in any way? Web design, web development? Oh, okay, lots. Quite cool. Okay. How many of you are developers? How many of you are coders? Geeks? Nerds, yeah? Okay, quite a few. Cool. Okay. I'm going to talk a little bit about what we're doing at Adobe with tools for the web, but also for not just web in browsers, but also applications across devices. I'm going to start talking about the web first. And the biggest change that's happened in the web in the last 4 years, in fact 2 years, I'll start with 2 years, is these things. These are only just over 2 years old. Was that me? Tablets? Okay. The other thing is, obviously a little bit longer, is phones, mobile phones. These have changed the web. Why have they done that? Because before mobile phones or smartphones and tablets, the way that people surf the web obviously was on laptops or desktops, and the browser is much bigger. So all websites were designed to fit into a desktop browser.
Allow us to think about developing new skills and stretching ourselves in relation to the creative process. Well, you're here to learn about CS6, so be prepared to be inspired, challenged, and also rocked and wowed, because I can tell you this is an absolutely blockbuster release, bar none. So I'm going to say a few words, but later on this morning you're going to hear from some absolute experts in the field. There's Michael Stoddart, and I know that Michael is known to many of you. He's one of our Asia-Pacific homegrown evangelists. He's an expert in the field in relation to creative solutions, so you'll hear from him. You'll also hear from Paul Burnett, another one of our homegrown evangelists, and also expert in the field of HTML and Flash authoring and all of that. So you're going to hear from two great experts. And then we've also joined by Jim Gerard. Jim is the Worldwide VP of Media and Solutions, particularly as it relates to video. And so he'll be delivering a keynote address a little bit later. I'd also like to just take the opportunity to thank our many partners, some of which are here in this room today, and our sponsors, which are outside. So please take the opportunity at the breaks to spend time with them, because they're experts in their field, and they can work with you in applying this wonderful technology to achieve an outcome for each of you. So let me begin by just talking a little bit about the transformation that's occurring in our world. And the fact of the matter is that there's huge change occurring. The rise of social networking, the rise of mobility, and the device play that's out there in the marketplace. The whole concept around the cloud, and Adobe is very much the front end to the cloud, as well as being a big provider of software as a service with our digital marketing suite. And then you think about, this digital age. Everybody has an idea which can be shared and expressed. When you consider that in terms of the act of creation itself, it's very democratized. It's very accessible to anybody now, and it's available. So the challenges are one of being able to create and capture ideas anywhere, to be able to then take that idea and that content and that creation and then present that across the world.
Here I've got a web page, and it looks really nice on a desktop, sort of laid out. It's optimized to run on a desktop computer, but it's going to be too big to run on my mobile and my tablet. I've got big pictures on there, huge amount of content. In the industry today, the best practice way of building your website so that it's optimized for desktop and tablets and mobile is a thing called responsive design. Responsive design, go home and Google it tonight, responsive design. This is the concept of building a web page so that it is optimized for the desktop. It looks really nice. It's designed, the layout is awesome for a desktop. And when you go to a tablet, it's not just a squashed down version on the tablet, but it's a re-laid out, redesigned page. But it's still the same HTML page that was on the desktop. When you go to a mobile, it's not just a squashed down version, it's been optimized and designed to look really nice and behave well on a mobile. So let me show you an example. This particular, sorry, my mic has gone a bit crazy. I might just, sorry. Try that. Maybe? No? Oh yeah, okay, that's sort of a bit better. I'll try that. Sorry about that. Okay, so see this page here? You can see it looks great. Down here I've got this big image at the top, I've got 4 images below it. As I start to sort of squash this down, you'll notice that any size I move to, it's actually really optimized across there. How is that working? Well, these images here, they're just resizing down, which is pretty simple to do. Just inside the div that they're sitting in, it's just set to 100% width and height of the div. But do you notice the image at the top, the banner image, isn't actually resizing, it's actually cropping down. So it's changing the crop area of the image at the top. Sort of cool. But and this is still sitting on the desktop, but if I squash this down to the size of a tablet, it suddenly changes and it's laid